The story is set. The moment Goku would get Ultra Imperfect Instinct against Jiren, a light would rise, and ancestral power would be released from Zeno-sama's. His body was asleep, and the ancestral power of the demon god was first feeling the pure energy of the Ultra Instinct in his mortal. He was able to wake up after millions of years.
So, after millions of years, I was sealed in this place. I can't believe in this era mortals are more powerful than gods. This is a joke. I have to do something, since the only one able to defeat me was the first Saiyan god, and the energy of this guy is similar.
The demon god would take control of Zeno-sama's body, and it would do nothing, seeing the outcome of the battle, realizing Jiren would defeat Goku without effort.
The power you have is amazing, but it's incomplete.
Goku would fly to the large sphere on behalf of Jiren, and that power of Zeno-sama released, alerting the tournament of power. But all of the fuss that it was caused would be seen as the limbs of the Guardians would be dismembered, while a negative aura was released.
I won't let that mortal master the power of the Ultra Instinct. I was defeated by that power. And since I was defeated, that energy of the cursed flame rulers were able to seal me in the bodies of their descendants.
Zeno-sama with speed against Goku would be charging him, and no being was able to see what happened. Though he was trying to end Goku's life, Daishinkan would get in front, receiving the blow, and Goku would have been deadly. The High Priest, it was nothing but just great damage to his body. Daishinkan would fall, spitting out blood, and the Angels of the 12 Universes would be by his side.
Father, I don't know what happened. This warrior is not Zeno-sama. Even the exact moment that Goku achieved Ultra Instinct, I could realize both Zeno-samas were able to completely unite.
Damn, the power of Zeno-sama is amazing. I can't crush the power he has to unite with a part of the future.
I agree, Father. It's not the personality of the great Zeno-sama. I'm able to deduce more of a powerful warrior that's controlling him. The angels would grant Daishinkan support, making him recover his power, and he had not lost a large amount of energy. He would stay at the max of their powers. The warrior in front was of danger.
Gods, even though we weren't able to help this battle, we have to support, even though these warriors were eliminated by the aura of this being that is controlling Zeno-sama.
The 12 gods of destruction would transmit their energy in their respective angels, and that connection they had with the collection of power multiplied even more. All this would be in vain though, because the angels along with Daishinkan launched themselves against Zeno, couldn't do anything. Zeno, with a few agile movements, would dodge their enemies and hit them, and a few warriors that did remain in the tournament were the most powerful warriors of each universe.
I feel like my body's turning into dust. That guy wants to end Goku's life. There's gotta be a reason, and for that, this powerful warrior is trying to end his life.
Jiren, with the help of Hit's time jump, would be by Goku's side, and Vegeta next to Frieza transmitted some of his energy with the intention to stand up once more.
Damn, I never thought Zeno would be able to betray us. He even called himself Kakarot's friend. No, as far as I could see, the more powerful entity was able to take over his body. That entity wants to end Son Goku, and we gotta do something to get him out of here.
At this moment, a great mental connection would be established between the warriors and gods who were on the platform of the tournament.
Gods and mortals, I want you to gather Goku and Vegeta to one place. The weak point of this warrior is the Saiyan race, and if we die, we'll grant you a new opportunity. And you gods, I want you to transmit your power to the warriors protecting you.
The last hope of the 12 universes would begin, and the battle dragged on even longer. Angel after angel would fall. Goku and Vegeta being wrapped in an energy sphere, Zeno-sama would realize they were about to escape and increase their power more.
I will not allow them to leave this place. This will be the place of their death. I plan to allow a new Super Saiyan God to appear.
Zeno-sama would throw an energy sphere, trying to turn Goku and Vegeta into atoms, and their souls were destroyed. Daishinkan, 100% of his power would be used to save them, and would create a body in their respective fusions, Gogeta and Vegeta.
Goku, Vegeta, you're the salvation of the universes. I give you more gifted bodies. I trust you will save the multiverse.
The sphere would disappear in the energy of Goku and Vegeta, because Zeno-sama would start to laugh over this place.
I finally eliminated that dirty Saiyan. I've been able to realize this universe, there are more powerful warriors, which means no other Saiyan will be able to get that power.
Zeno-sama, of a quick movement, would be leaving the angel's throne and would approach Daishinkan, staring at him with blood releasing from his body.
You could be my priest, and because of your attitude, you'll die. Even if I don't end your life, Your terrible wounds will make you die. But out of benevolence, I'll be able to end your suffering. So die.
Zeno-sama stretched out one of his hands, ending Daishinkan's life. Zeno-sama would return to the throne, having ended the lives of the mortals, and would wait for the angels to wake after the beating they got. The gods said nothing, realizing that Daishinkan defeated them as if they were nothing.
Wow, I can't believe the power that guy has. I don't know how the hell he did it, but we gotta follow him. Since Daishinkan's last orders were before he died, the savior appears in some universe.
The angels would wake up, and their bodies had wounds, but they would be taken out of their thoughts by the voice of Zeno-sama.
Angels and gods, I hope I have your support. I'll be your new ruler. Whoever objects can step forward and eliminate it once and for all.
The angels, with the intention of fighting again, would be stopped by a mental power that would be reflected in their minds.
My children, if you see this, it means I've been eliminated. Don't worry, I've devised Plan Z for the salvation of the universes. Follow all the indications of him. I don't want you to die, I trust you.
The mental power would end and the angels would be in their place, and Zeno-sama gave the indications of the universes.
Due to the large number of mortals that exist in the universes, I know I have their loyalty. I want that tomorrow in my palace to take the body of 1,000 inhabitants, and that'll be enough to know that they're on my side, and so they can leave.
The kingdom of nothingness would be evaporated, and because of this, each god and angel would return to their universe, and a place far away from the 12 universes, to be more precise, the kingdom of angels. A beautiful angel would notice the presence of two bodies and would fall on her planet with great speed. Mikoshin, at a great speed, was able to intercept them, realizing they were just babies, and at the instant of holding them, Daishinkan's mind power would be reflected in his mind.
Mikoshin, I know that you're an angel that would find these mortals. I want you to grant them a little of your power. Since they reached their adulthood, the great Zeno-sama manipulated an evil army, and their salvation is for the everything of that is existing. I've sent them to the sacred kingdom. I'm counting on you.
Mikoshin would be surprised knowing Zeno-sama's multiverse was in danger and would follow Daishinkan's rules. And because of this, Mikoshin was using her power to make Goku reborn to Gogeta's body, preserving the memories and powers, and Vegeta into Vegeto's body in the same way with those same memories and powers. And with the help of Mikoshin's power, they were able to reach the most powerful form.
They will be the savior of the 12 universes. I don't believe it. At first glance, they're just mortals, but they can develop their powers. If Daishinkan trusted them, it's gotta be for something specific.
A few days would pass in the Sacred Kingdom. Goku and Vegeta would wake, finding themselves alternating, and everything that had happened.
My head hurts. Everything's spinning. What happened?
You're right, Kakarot. I feel the same discomfort. My head's spinning. It hurts. Where are we?
A huge aura would rise over the place, and Mikoshin would approach them, enveloped in aura of flames.
Well, the saviors of the 12 universes have woken up, but before you want to tell me something, you should know that they've died. Thanks to Daishinkan's technique, they were reborn as an improvised version of their bodies.
Goku and Vegeta were surprised by Mikoshin's clarification, more surprised that they were able to see each other.
What? How's this possible? Vegeta, you're the fusion with the Earring Supreme. I didn't think the High Priest had that technique.
Well, I say the same thing, Insect. The appearance of the fusion means these steps. Definitely the Great Priest has granted us help.
I don't know what happened outside the 12 universes. In this sacred realm, disconnection from a planar universe, Daishinkan is my older brother. I've been able to help him with this favor. I'll train you for a few months so you can find out what happened. I really appreciate it. I know it's weird to have a body fusion, but if this situation means my power increases... No, he's wrong. The power that they kept of the original bodies has been transferred to these, and it's an improved version of their own bodies. This time they can withstand more pressure and train with a higher energy load without suffering the wear and tear of before.
Awesome. I can't let that bastard destroy the 12 universes. We gotta be more powerful to continue as possible.
Agree. I can't believe this warrior's powerful enough to control Zeno-sama. Control Zeno-sama? Daishinkan's not going into details what happened, but that wretch taking advantage of Zeno-sama is the king of the evil young never seen before. What? I don't know what you're saying. In the body of the kings of all, the power of the first demon god was sealed, and his power was able to defeat the family of the kingdom, including angels and gods. The first Saiyan god with his infinite power defeated him, and the price was to pay his own life.
So that means the Saiyans have existed since ancient times. They're able to seal Zeno-sama's body? From what I could see, you could tell me this happened millions of years ago.
The first death of the Super Saiyan God. We had desperate measures and sealed that power of the Demon God in the 12 universes, while his offspring was the power of the Demon God would pass to his descendants. Zeno-sama was the youngest, parents corrupted by demonic energy, ending themselves with their own lives, and Zeno-sama's attitude was that of a child.
So that's what happened. We don't plan on letting him get that control of Zeno-sama's body totally. Train us.
Please, we've been blessed with these bodies that we could get to achieve power beyond our limits. And now Reg required power to defeat Daishinkan.
A great rumble would be seen in the sacred realm. Mikoshin's power increased incredibly.
I suppose that's my brother had died. I don't want to accept it. I'll train and teach them the most important thing, so they finish that bastard.
In Zeno-sama's realm, everything would be enveloped in chaos energy. Goku and Vegeta had new bodies, and with training in the Sacred Kingdom, they were seen by Mikoshin, both having a great battle, and everything would tremble while Mikoshin analyzed the combat of each style.
Wow, it's amazing how much energy they have. An ordinary being couldn't release such masses of power.
Mikoshin would take steps back because a great power would cause an extortion of energy. Mikoshin would create a small energy barrier not affected at all.
Wow, the guy named Gogeta has said the body currently has a fusion of both, but in the different fusions. That's the reason I could feel essence extra of the Ultra Instinct and the Ultra Ego in both of them.
Wow, Vegeta! Apparently you have incredible power. You have great power that won't beat me, though. I have to, in my mind, raise my destructive power more. I hope you can keep up. Don't say something stupid. I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. You can't beat me, and with my body of our fusions, I'll be to the top of all warriors and massacre that imposter. Gogeta would access Super Saiyan Blue Max, generating destruction. Vegeta wouldn't be left behind and would also access Super Saiyan Blue Max, and hundreds of rays would be released over the battlefield. They couldn't damage the Sacred Realm because the Great Barrier Mikoshin had placed.
It definitely did the right thing putting up that barrier. That great destruction would be caused over the Sacred Kingdom.
Gogeta and Vegeta stared at each other, and against each other, the great battle of two would begin. In Universe 7, on the planet of Beerus, the deities were walking over the planet, and Beerus would take a break with the silence. Hey Whis, we have to go to Earth informing Goku and Vegeta about what happened. I bet they're worried. I'm surprised you, the god of destruction, want to explain what has happened in the Tournament of Power. Because Beerus, you being the most powerful and arrogant god of the 12 universes, apparently the mortals have softened your heart. You're right about that. Those damn Saiyans could soften me a little bit, and for that reason I owe them an explanation. Beerus and Whis would go to Earth. In other universes, tension would be felt as the new king of all had negative energy, and all this would be inside the first demonic god. And in the kingdom of Zeno-sama, energy was being released, and Zeno-sama would take a look at the destruction.
Damn, I want to get rid of that seal. Even though I have been able to control this dwarf's body, I want to own it. I have to be able to have the energy capacity of my own.
That's right, the first demon god logged to free himself from the seal that was in Zeno-sama's body. It was getting complicated and had passed from generation to generation and would not be easy to break.
No, damn, I have to be able to break this seal. I don't want to stay here. I'll have to enter the confines of all the universes known as the Lost Universes. I'm sure there we could break this seal.
Zeno-sama was heading towards the Lost Universes. The deities arrived to Earth and received the other warriors.
Wow, you guys are back! That means our universe is the winner! I remember that the universes losing would be eliminated.
No, Bulma, you're wrong. It's difficult to tell you, but the participants of the Tournament of Power have been eliminated by a being who could control Zeno-sama. We don't know what happened. We're waiting for the savior. Tears would come out of her eyes, and she would pull herself together.
But we can use the Dragon Balls to bring them back. We can't let them die like nothing. We have to do something.
Miss Bulma, we can't. This guy is greater than Zeno-sama, and even with the Dragon Balls bringing them to life, we'd have to wait for the savior.
Savior? Who's the savior? We haven't been able to save a warrior in the 12 universes. I don't know how this could have happened.
I'm really sorry. You don't have to say anything else, though. We have to go train.
I'm sure that it won't last long with this new ruler and a battle between the gods and angels against that supposed king of everything's being fought. It'll be the most destructive battle the 12 universes have seen.
I agree, Mr. Beerus. This battle will end up with 99% of the life in the 12 universes. But we have to take the victory if we want to return to normal. The deities will return to their planet, thinking they're going to go through training. Even the angels and gods had that in mind. In the Sacred Kingdom, the combat of both Saiyans would reach a climax, and both were connecting great blows falling to the ground, great destruction. Well, I didn't expect the battle to end in a draw. It's reasonable, since both bodies of the two warriors eliminated that imposter of the great Zeno-sama. Mikosha would head towards them, starting to heal their wounds. And the wounds being healed with an incredible increase of power was obtained incredibly. They didn't even have the slightest with their original bodies. Well, that's enough. We could heal their wounds and get them back to power they've spent on the battlefield. Zeno-sama with his power would manage to reach the Lost Universes, and at the moment, a great pressure would fall on his body, making him fall to a planet. The Lost Universes weren't even part of the 12 original universes. Being the oldest, the warriors of the Monsters of Energy could bend the king of Whole as Zeno-sama was. Damn, if I had my original body, that pressure would be nothing. I don't get how this weakling is the most powerful warrior of the 12 universes. A large being with the appearance of evil would show up, beginning to walk through the air, and each step, everything was destroyed.
Well, what do we have here? Is he the king of the whole? The 12 universes? What are you doing here? Even though you're a king of the whole, it's forbidden for you to step in the Lost Universes. We could finish you easily.
Shut up, Yarka. If I was the best, I'd finish you in the blink of an eye. You better stop releasing that pressure. I'll end your miserable life.
Ha! You make me laugh. But what surprises me the most is that you know my name. How do you know it? Since these few beings know my name, I'll only tell the warriors of great powers.
I know your name because I've beaten you dozens of times. I was able to teach you a couple techniques. I'm Akira, so you better stop releasing that pressure or I'll finish you.
Yarka would finish trembling in front of him, the first demon god, ceasing to release all his pressure, flying quickly to Zeno-sama's aid. Yarka would transmit a little energy which would heal his wounds.
You are my lord Yarka. Since no divine energy is capable of assimilating the demonic energy, much less the demonic energy coming from the first demon god. It's been a long time, my lord.
Of course, you idiot! I've been sealed for millions of years by the family kings of the whole, and they transferred me to their descent. But thanks to the essence of the Saiyan god, I could wake up. I still hate them, though, and it's a matter of being sealed I've been able to recognize.
Understand, but what brings you here?
I can't come here? I was the one who formed these universes, and I can't come here. What do you think you are trying to ask me questions? Even if I want to have all the universes lost to the 12 universes.
I'm sorry, my lord. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'm sure you have something in mind. These universes are dangerous without your body.
I admit you're right, but I've been forced to come in these directions. I've been able to break the seal of this body, and I want to have my original one. Help me break the seal.
My lord, you've come to the right place, and I in these millions of years have specialized in sealing beings of great power. I can help.
So, let's get started. These damn gods and angels, they're trying to do something to overthrow me.
Understand. Right now, we'll start. These seals are capable of cracking. With space seals, rather than universal space seals, these are capable of breaking an original seal.
Yarka would instantly start to flow his energy into Zeno-sama's body, releasing the seals, and with each seal in Zeno-sama's body, they would cause him great pain, splitting out large amounts of blood all over the place.
My lord has to endure it. I'm sure you can feel the seal weakening.
You're right. I can feel my soul being torn. I feel like the whole seal is starting to crack. I can still take it, though.
Yarka would continue breaking these seals, and the Sacred Realm Gogeta and Vegeta would wake up. The instant they did, they would be surprised by the power that was in their body.
Wow, what happened? How could I get this power and only being asleep? Maybe it's the Saiyans being fused by two of them. Isn't it augmentation ability increased?
I feel the same. We have multiple paddles to increase our powers greatly.
On the other hand, they are right. Their bodies that they do possess are fusions, and their abilities are normally possessed with greatly enhanced, so they've been able to have a great advantage against others.
This is amazing! These bodies we have can beat that guy. We gotta continue, though.
I agree. No matter how much potential we have, if we don't train, we won't get more powerful.
I agree, but I want you to meditate. Your spiritual energy may be affected if you're not in a new body. From what I understand, Goku was able to get the Ultra Instinct, while Vegeta wasn't able to achieve Special Doctrine.
Damn it. So you think by another doctrine in particular? Is there another doctrine besides Ultra Instinct?
Of course! There are 3. Well, really 2. One is Goku's Ultra Instinct, the second's Ultra Ego, and what's most likely is Mr. Vegeta's achieved the God of Destruction training.
But you've said 3! What's the other?
The last is the most powerful one. It's known as Mega Instinct, which is both of them combined, Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. This state can only be achieved by fusion, but as Shaken giving you the body of a fusion, I can feel the essence of you both.
Wow, we can achieve the most powerful one. Even though that wretch finished us, I can avenge everyone, making myself more powerful.
I agree, Kakarot. These power of these Saiyans get me excited, and these enemies continue with our training.
And that's how Gogeta and Vegeta would continue, being supervised by Mukoshin. In the Lost Universes, Zeno-sama would be destroyed, and a beam of energy would rise. Everything would be destroyed, and the original body of Zeno's would have damage that caused death. And the original body of Akira would separate from Zeno's, causing an electrical storm from the first demon god.
This is different. To the body of the dwarf, I feel my whole body being loaded with power of the Lost Universes.
Akira would release more power, managing to shake the multiverse. Akira, the first demon god, would break the seal, his true form seen through the Lost Universe. The entire galaxy would give him a power incredible Akira, and this time, Akira, before being sealed, left most of his power in the celestial bodies and stars of the Lost Universes. Akira being released accessed that power that was sealed in said galaxies. Zeno-sama, being in a terrible condition and almost dead, would be able to regain consciousness and realizing everything around him seemed like hell. He was also able to see the first demonic god. No, I gotta get out of here! If I'm able to hear these Lost Universes, I'm able to feel the energy of the guardian angels. I gotta leave quickly. Yaraka would instantly see Zeno-sama pouncing, and it was too late. Zeno-sama with the dimensional seal completely disappeared, mobilizing at a high speed.
No damn, it looks like he's teleporting. His body's moving at a huge speed. That speed which he's moving is able to be compared to the demon god Savitar. Yakira, don't worry. Let him leave. Because this will be more fun. That dwarf will inform the gods of my return and let them train. Without the Super Saiyan God's offspring, it's impossible for them to defeat me. And in this moment, it's to control this power.
The instant Akira would finish, he'd spit out blood. His body wasn't used to the power and would enter the darkest corner of the Forbidden Universe known as the Abyss Massacre.
My lord, are you sure you don't want to go into the Abyss Massacre? I know that this power is capable, and no demon from this era could come out alive. It massacres him, and with this ability, I don't know if he can pull it off.
A pressure would fall on the place, Akira's gaze reflecting anger, like thousands of rays released by the planets.
What did you say? Do you doubt me, the first demon god not getting out of the abyss? I'm the first demon god, the prodigy, who could never shine for that damn Saiyan. Wait for my return.
Akira would enter the Abysmal Massacre. On Beerus's planet, both deities would be training. In the middle of the planet, Rumble would be shaking the planet and a destruction would cause, with Beerus and Whis approaching to see what's going on.
But if it's Zeno-sama, there's no way a negative essence could release his body. That's weird. Who could be the powerful king of all like this?
I agree, but seeing your terrible condition, we can end your life once and for all, and that negative essence still inside will be able to eradicate us completely.
I know. This entity can't control the great Zeno-sama. I don't really know what we should do. We should ask for some support.
Whis would communicate with the gods and angels, and the deities of other universes would arrive, realizing the condition of Zeno-sama.
Beerus, you're the most powerful god of the 12 universes. We're with you to make the decision. Don't feel pressure. I just want you to know you have our support. I appreciate it. I'll follow my instincts. Angels, help heal the wounds of Zeno-sama. I'm sure that negative entity took his body that no longer lies inside.
All the angels would help with their staffs to restore the energy of Zeno-sama. It wasn't enough to leave the energy of Zeno-sama at 100%, because though the angels united their powers, they couldn't compare to 50% of Zeno-sama's power. Mr. Beerus, we have to heal Zeno-sama's wounds. We haven't managed to give him all his power. This time Zeno-sama is out of danger, we just hope he wakes up.
I understand. We have to be patient.
In the Sacred Kingdom, a few years passed. Time in the Sacred Kingdom was different of the 12 universes, and Gogeta and Vegeta would increase their powers in a great way, obtaining incredible results. Vegeta and Gogeta would master Ultra Instinct all 100% of all their power. Wow, you guys are prodigies! It amazes me that you can achieve the Ultra Perfect Instinct in these months.
This is because we have a clear goal. We can't allow that one who controlled Zeno-sama to destroy everything. Our goal is to be more powerful as fast as possible.
I agree with you, Insect. That bastard showed the true power of the Saiyan race. I'm sure he can enter our lives, even though he's afraid of our power.
Of course, we gotta master the Mega Instinct that has a much greater power, and not have any obstacles when we fight him.
I agree. If we can get Mega Instinct, their defense and offense would be another level. And if they're teamed up, that guy didn't have a chance.
Thank you very much for your tip. Of course we're gonna master Mega Instinct 100%, and to not even have an energy drain on the battlefield.
But for them to master all that, they must master all the internal energy. Mega Instinct is a state of calm and time. It's a state of destruction. They must have a perfect balance.
You don't have to worry about that. We're expert warriors. We're experts on internal energy balance. We just gotta try harder. This time, Vegeta and Gogeta would start the most complex mental training they ever had. And returning to Universe 7, Zeno-sama would wake up, releasing power, and everyone present would fall to their knees because the king of all, whose power could not be compared to gods or angels. Apparently, it was a terrible idea to cure the king. He's still in control of that guy. I can't feel any essence. Zeno-sama realized that the presence of the gods of destruction as well as the angels would diminish his power. I'm sorry, I thought I was in the Lost Universes and was able to escape from that place. We got a plan. I don't know what happened. The guy took over my body. It was the first demon god, and to recover his original body, I have to return. So, it wasn't that bad to heal all his wounds. But Lord, how could we face that guy? Even if a high priest was defeated by you, even though that guy didn't have his original body.
I didn't think that Daishinkan had fallen into the hands of that guy. We must resist all the 12 universes. Like me, that guy can't master all his power. He was sealed for hundreds of years. We gotta train.
I agree with you, Zeno-sama. No matter how much we train, we won't be able to do anything. It's not to be negative. We're just gods. We have to train to be able to compare ourselves with Daishinkan. You're right. I'm not gonna die without doing something.
I'll take care of the training of the angels. My power is the highest of the 12. Mr. Beerus, train the gods of destruction, and Zeno-sama to train his combat state. It seems to me a correct distribution. We can't train together. My simple pressure would crush them. Exactly. For that reason, I thought about that distribution. We must not waste time. We angels create three-dimensional rooms, achieving training and better results. Whis with the angels would form the rooms, with each room as designated groups, and the groups would enter their respective rooms, while Whis and Beerus would return to sea.
We gotta endure the last hope of the 12 universes. I'm sure Daishinkan, even after death, has a plan.
Father, please help us. I'm sure that the ability you have granted us, each one a fundamental role when the new war is about to approach, we can't defend the first demon god, a warrior. Our hope is that we have an ace in our sleeve. Everyone entered their rooms with the intention of breaking their limits. Yaraka began to release hundreds of toxins though around, and with the help of a dimensional portal would send them to the 12 universes.
I'm sure those miserable divine beings can't do anything, but we can't be surprised. They can corner us. I'll have an energy bomb ready to detonate.
The toxins Yaraka was devising was nothing more than a great demonic energy bomb, with power to destroy the 12 universes. In the abyss, Akira would go deeper, being able to eradicate warriors that stood in his way. After a few weeks and finishing hundreds of warriors, he reached the supreme planet of the Abyss Massacre.
I knew after millions of years the supreme planet would be hidden in the slaughter abyss.
The warriors I've faced are useless.
Akira would approach towards the base, with pressure being able to break several bones and would make him vomit blood.
Damn! I don't remember this planet having this pressure.
Akira, despite the damage, would stand and reach the base of the planet in a meditation pose. The planet had an incredible pressure, and it would increase and control his divine energy. It was known as the sacred planet of the Abyss Massacre.
I must be able to control the lost power of this planet. It's the best place to train. Due to the gravitational pressure, my energy flow is forced to improve. Every body and living being must adapt to the environment or die.
So Akira, despite the blood flow, would continue his training. In the 12 universes, the negative energy bomb Yaraka was ready.
With this amount of negative energy, it won't leave a trace of the 12 universes. We just have to hope Akira can return from the Abyss Massacre. I will take the dare to recruit the speed demon Savitar.
Yaraka would leave for Savitar, returning to the Sacred Kingdom. Gogeta and Vegeta, despite controlling their internal energy, didn't have the Mega Instinct, because Goku in Gogeta's body had a higher percentage of Ultra Instinct, that is the energy of peace, and 70% unlike the energy of destruction.
I thought this would be easier. It costs too much to master energy of destruction, but I can't give up.
On Vegeta's body, in Vegeta, he'd have the energy of destruction 90% of the Ultra Instinct, or of peace, but he only achieved it 10% because they couldn't access the most powerful state. It's just I told you, even though you are prodigies, mastering the energies is complex, because if you want to protect the 12 universes, only the Mega Instinct will achieve it.
Don't worry, it's complex, but we'll achieve it.
In that moment, the Sacred Kingdom would shake, and the 12 universes and the Lost Universe, a destruction would come, and because Akira would manage to take 100% of his power.
I've finally been able to get all my power back. It's time to pay those divine subjects a visit. I forgot how satisfying it is to train on a planet.
Everyone around him would begin to destroy, and beings of the Sacred Realm would panic because the power that was felt through the Omniverse. The power of the demonic god Akira would be perceived by the entire Omniverse. Even his power exceeds the power he had millions of years ago, thanks to this power perceived by the Celestial Kingdom, making expressions of everyone of astonishment.
I miss my original body so much. Since the stupid body of the dwarf of Zeno was not able to withstand my energy reserves, much less withstand a training in the Massacre Abyss. But the power I has been able to get is abysmal.
Akira began realizing Yaraka's presence was very distant, but the incredible thing was that the power began to decrease rapidly. Because of this, Akira's expression would change to that of astonishment.
Yaraka's power doesn't compare to that of the demons of the sacred lineage. Despite that, the power he has is not weak at all. Guy must be fighting with a very powerful warrior of the Lost Universes. I want to know who he is.
Akira would transform his body into a lightning bolt completely. Thanks to this, he began to move around the entire Lost Universe at an extremely incredible speed. Despite the great distance that separates them, Akira would arrive a few minutes, hiding his presence with a large advantage of shadow camouflage. Thanks to this, he would not be perceived by the warriors who were fighting.
Please, Savitar, I know you belong to the demon gods of the sacred lineage, and the ability to increase your power is greater than that of the demons. Only a demon of the same lineage or of the great Akira-sama would be able to defeat you. I have come for your help, that you would join the powerful god Akira.
I am not interested in joining anyone. If Akira is able to come back, I'm sure I'll be able to beat him. He's weak if they caught him. He hasn't been a good-for-nothing worm. He wouldn't have been sealed by the Zen clan. That bastard doesn't deserve to be our leader, and you, having great loyalty to him, deserve to die here.
Yaraka would duck his head because even the bones of his extremities were completely destroyed. Because of this, he couldn't move.
Apparently, it's been a terrible idea to recruit Savitar, the demon god of speed. I thought that, like me, he'd be glad to return of Akira-sama.
Die, you bastard! Don't worry, in a few days I'll send you the bastard of Akira. They both live in hell, those good-for-nothings.
Savitar would throw a tiny sphere of energy that would be in the shape of an arrow. and at that speed, a few centimeters from colliding with Yaraka's heart, the entire battlefield would freeze. The same as some parts expelled a scorching fire, which would leave Savitar very surprised.
Wow, you have the technique of this level. No matter that you freeze, I'm sure you won't be able to freeze my attack a second time.
Savitar would once again charge his attack. His hand would cut off a quick movement. Because Savitar, the supposed god of speed, would fall. He hadn't been able to see anything, just felt pain losing his hand.
What the hell? How could you do that with the speed? Even I, who am known as the Speed Demon, couldn't see you. I'm not interested right now. I'll finish you with the supreme power. That is the most matters. No matter how fast you are, you can't attack from the back.
A dark nebula covered Akira's body. Because of this, Savitar was not able to recognize who his enemy was. Savitar, without caring, rushed against him. Akira, they knew after a few moments of a child, since the speed he achieved was in the Abyss Massacre, complete madness. Even the supposed god of speed was nothing but a simple human, appeared to Akira. With Akira's agile movement, he would hold Savitar's head, crushing him against the planet, generating explosions, from which it would be seen how Savitar would crawl while vomiting blood.
What? How is it possible that a demon god left me in this condition after a few exchanges? I'm the only demon god possessing the sacred lineage. I can't die like a bug.
Akira would approach Savitar while his energy cloud disappeared, exposing his face, and it would terrify Savitar. But without letting him say a word, Akira would stretch out one of his hands, and smile would appear on his face.
I don't want to listen to the garbage that comes from your mouth. I'll end your existence, but unlike you, I don't plan to let your soul go to hell. I'll use the destructive energy to eliminate it completely.
Savitar's gaze would be of terror, while he would prostrate in front of Akira.
Please, my lord, forgive me. I promise that I'll serve you the rest of my existence, but save my life. I don't want to go through in my head to express myself the way about your majesty. I ask mercy.
Savitar would raise his head to observe a smile on his face.
You may be the god of death, have mercy on you, but not me. I've heard that you express yourself. Don't tell me something stupid. I'll end up like scum like you.
Akira would pulverize Savitar with a destructive energy, destroying his soul completely. While he would approach Yaraka, who would close his eyes thinking that it'd be the end. In his being, he was honored to be eliminated by the demon god Akira, but was surprised to feel how all his wounds would regenerate.
I appreciate the loyalty you've shown me. You will be my right hand.
Meanwhile, in the Angelic Kingdom, Gogeta, along with Vegeta, were equally surprised by the excessive power through the Angelic Kingdom.
No, hell! Even if the Angelic Kingdom is millions of years away from the 12 universes, was able to shudder. The power that wretch achieved has to be on another level. No matter what happens, Kakarot, we're the hope of the 12 universes.
Even the great Daishinkan gave us life so we could be reborn in the best version of our bodies.
I understand, Vegeta. I don't know what we'll be able to face that great power. Despite not being in front of that dam, his power is making me kneel. I can't imagine when it's our turn to fight him.
Mikoshin would approach the two warriors, while expression was more serious than normal. Apparently, we'll have to act faster. You've not been able to master the Mega Instinct by separate parts, but the time has come to do it. Gogeta and Vegito, you will merge to help with the earrings of the holy gods. Both warriors were shocked to hear this. Mikoshin explained everything that happened. You are the fusion of Goku and Vegeta, which means you have the best of each warrior. Being two fusions, you will merge that you will achieve the perfect Mega Instinct.
Understood, Mikoshin. But are you sure fusion can be happened? I've never heard that you can merge 2 times.
Of course, speaking from the point of view, it would be practically impossible. Thanks to Daishinkan, you were able to reborn in the body of your fusions, which means you are currently not fused, since each of your souls occupies a body.
But wouldn't the Axis power be able to make us explode?
I'm sure the bodies can support more, but we have to hurry. Otherwise, that damn god Demino can end the existence of the entire multiverse. Because if he manages to decipher the sacred scrolls, he will be able to destroy all the existing dimensions. We must stop him.
Even though we are in grave danger, it seems interesting. Ha! You sure, Kakarot?
After a few moments, you were trembling because of the power of that demon god. I'm not interested in dying on the battlefield, but in case I do, I don't plan to die alone. That worm's gonna die with me.
Mikoshi would begin to bring the sacred earrings with him, handing them to Gogeta and Vegeta. The future of the Omniverse is in your hands. I have taught you everything I know, so from now on you must be the protectors, the power of that demon god. He was even able to overcome the entire legion of angels. We would be nothing but garbage. Don't worry, Mikoshi. I agree with what Vegeta said. It doesn't matter if we die, but we don't plan to die alone. So it's time to merge, Vegeta.
Of course we do. I don't want to say it, but I hate merging with you. But I have no other choice.
Gogeta and Vegeta would place on their earrings, and in their ears, with this, a great light and gravitational force would attract them against each other. While Mikoshi observed everything, she was surprised because the instant they joined their bodies completely, the energy of the Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego had completely disappeared. What? What happened? Maybe with the merger of both, they were not able to achieve the Mega Instinct? Even their doctrines have disappeared in their entirety. Mikoshi's astonishment would grow more because at an instant, a great golden light would be released all around her while an imposing warrior would appear in front of her. I'm neither Gogeta nor Vegeta. I have become transcended to a level beyond a god. I am Gogeta, Alpha Golden, and my power transcends all existing scales or levels. I don't understand what he's saying. This warrior is more arrogant, but no matter what, if he doesn't have the power to face a demon god, we'll all die. Mikoshi would approach. The individual's hair would grow longer. While his hair was golden and several silver parts, his outfit would change. A large bracelet would appear on his chest as well as one of those biceps. This is the power of the Alpha Golden Ultra Instinct Phase 3. The power that surpasses everything known. So this is the power that I've been able to get with the fusion of 2 fusions. I swear I'll avenge the death of my master. I will eradicate you, demon god. Mikoshi would be surprised by the appearance of the new warrior in front of her. Despite not feeling his power, this time she felt the air was denser. Because of this, it was harder for her to breathe, and for that reason, she would create a great barrier around her entire body. I don't know what kind of power you were able to get, but you were able to leave me amazed. You can count on me for whatever you need. I'm sure that you'll be able to have the potential of ending the demon god's life. A million light years away, Akira would raise his head and a slight chill would run through his body.
A worthy opponents appeared, a being enough energy to end my life. I never thought such a being would appear in the universe as a Zeno-sama.
My lord, what has happened? He's staring at nothing while keeping quiet.
Apparently even Uraraka's not able to feel the great pressure. That means that the said pressure is in the same power range, then I'll have to visit a little bit to see this warrior who realizes all great power.
My lord, is everything right?
Uraraka's body would shudder. Akira's gaze would change, because on this occasion a malevolent smile would appear on Uraraka's face.
Ha! I'm better than Uraraka, but it'll be better to leave you on this planet. I want you to place all the barriers you can, since the unprecedented battle is about to take place, and I'm sure to be of the highest level.
Ha! Don't say that, my lord! Who would have the power to stand up against you?
That's exactly what I planned to find out. If I die, detonate all the energy that you have accumulated in the 12 universes. I don't want there to be anything existing.
I doubt that, my lord, will die to a single warrior, but count on me.
Akira would disappear from the place, turning his body once more into lightning bolts. Moving at an incredible speed, despite the great speed he had, it would take him a few months to get to where the power was released. Meanwhile, in the Angelic Kingdom, in these few months that had passed, Gogeta would manage to dominate all his power of the Alpha Ultra Instinct. This time, Mikoshi would realize that the power of that warrior had was a power that exceeded hundreds of times the power of the Mega Instinct, and that was what her was most amazed.
It was the beginning of the Mega Instinct, the power that ruled over all doctrines. The being that is able to master the Mega Instinct could even be considered a being of another level. But what kind of power has Gogeta been able to achieve?
Mikoshi, I don't want you to keep thinking the same thing. I want you to know I'll be able to end the life of that wretch, and finally, all this will end. Something that should have never started. But while both were talking, the whole dimension above them would collapse. A great power destroyed the barriers of the angelic realm, creating a portal from which Akira, the demon god, would be seen, and without staring, the auras of Akira and Gogeta would collide brutally, generating great destruction through the angelic realm. Despite being a sacred place and said to be indestructible, this time it was taking too much to return to normal.
So you're the warrior who receives all that authority. The power you have is on another level. Who are you? Your appearance is not of an angel of this kingdom. I'm in charge of ending your existence. But since you die in this place, I have no problem telling you who I am. I'm the Saiyan who you tried to kill in the tournament of power. Thanks to Daishinkan, I was reborn in a perfect body.
Akira's expression would change to fear, but would recover.
I'm not interested in how you got this power. You currently have the power beyond a legendary Orochi, the most powerful Saiyan of all time. Simple descendant as you are, you will not be able to do anything.
Gogeta would raise his hands, and with that movement, big rocks would form in the angelic realm, throwing them at Akira.
I don't want that attack to be just simple rocks. I'm the powerful god of all time. I am sealed in the Zen clan, the most powerful clan.
Akira, with a single blow, would destroy all the rocks. Gogeta would appear in front of Akira, connecting a blow on his face. The power was overwhelming, managing to make him fall to the base of the planet, while Gogeta stared at him, crossing his arms.
What are you doing? How's he able to cross his arms in the middle of battle? Are you underestimating the devil god?
When Akira realized the position the enemy had, he would get more irritated.
Don't tell me, as a worm, I won't forgive you. I won't let you make fun of me, you worm.
Akira would release more power, creating a great red aura around him. Gogeta at that moment raised his hands, forming a triangle with his arms, while a great golden light would form in the center of his arms.
Holy light of Alpha Ultra Instinct, fading of demonic energy.
The great golden energy would be released from the arms of Gogeta, would have managed to neutralize the demonic energy of the god Akira had released.
No matter what trick you use, you can't beat me. You're not allied level anymore. You better give up. No, I'm not. It can't be happening. I'll wipe out everything existing.
But billions of light years away, a big silver cube of energy was wandering over the universe. In that cube lay the purest energy of the entire Omniverse. It was the beginning to be corrupted by the negative energy of all the Omniverses. A large cube would begin to make multiple turns throughout outer space. At the same time that even its same matter began to form and transform, because in space the law of physics do not exist. Large purple necklace would be formed, and just as a large destructive amount began to emanate from this great necklace, even starting to form a new warrior. Returning to the angelic realm, the battle of both existence reached a climax. The power of the double fusion managed to generate incredible damage to Akira's body. Gogeta, without losing the opportunity, rushed against him, connecting a knee to his stomach, making him spit blood. Without ending his attack, he would connect a double blow to his head, making him fall to the base of one of the planets of the Celestial Kingdom. Gogeta began to descend for all the destruction that had been generated. Well, after a few minutes, Gogeta would prostrate himself in front of Akira, which would be observing the foot of Gogeta while kneeling to the floor.
How could you get all that power? Even Orochi and Yamoshi were never able to get a similar power. That power that damn guy possesses even exceeds the power of the Omni God, which I was almost defeated.
Akira would raise his gaze and observe a serious look on his enemy. The golden glow of his eyes was able to completely subdue Akira.
Wow, I never thought I would say this. Apparently the fusion of both have been able to achieve the power that exceeds their limits. They have been able to overcome the Mega Instinct by hundreds of times. But what kind of power is that? Even the sacred scrolls, there's no talk of such a transformation.
Gogeta would bring his face closer to a few centimeters from Akira's, with an imposing gaze making him tremble.
I will not be intimidated by your look. I have to be able to break the defensive pride of hundreds of warriors. You will not be the exception.
Gogeta would stretch out one of his hands while his whole hand was covered with a great golden energy. A few particles of golden energy fell on the clothes, making everything touched disintegrate. Akira, despite being in a terrible condition, would take a distance from him.
I'm not gonna die in this place.
Akira's gaze would change while a big smile would be drawn all over his face.
I don't care if you ended my life in this place. If I die, one of my subordinates will destroy the 12 universes.
Gogeta's expression would be of fury, approaching, managing to connect a powerful blow in the center of his chest. A deafening scream would be heard by everything around him, making him fall to the ground with great power. I doubt that your so-called subordinate will be able to detect the exact moment of your death. I'll have enough time to end your life and eradicate your henchmen. In the immeasurable negative energy, he would form a new warrior, but in the center of his chest, that pure energy had been channeled in a great way. While after a few moments, all the planets that were near the warrior exploded, leaving nothing but simple atoms. However, despite having formed a few moments ago, thanks to the immense energy that lay inside, he managed to feel two pure energies very far from the place. I don't know how I'm able to feel two energies as pure as mine. I have to go and see who they are. I want to absorb all that great power that they are emanating from their bodies. That abomination would move at an incredible speed, a speed that no being in all that existed capable of moving, being able to reach the battlefield in a few moments, seeing the battle take place. The Golden Fur Warrior will be the winner of this battle. I'm not able to analyze the qualities of him. I am able to notice the power of the other warrior decrease rapidly. I will not let all that energy go to waste. That warrior would rush against Akira. At such a high speed, Akira nor Gogeta were able to notice the warrior. Akira was not able to do anything, and his power would drain at an incredible speed. Due to this event, Gogeta would take a distance. Damn, what's going on? Is this guy a new enemy? I understand Akira has the most powerful demon god of existing. There's another demon god capable of absorbing Akira. After a few moments, the essence of Akira would enter through the palms of his hands, creating whirlwinds of energy for everything in his path, and the planet of the Angelic Kingdom would be destroyed. Gogeta, seconds before, would react at a great speed, holding Mikoshin in his arms, moving at a great speed through the destruction in his path. A little more, we would have died. Who is this guy? Now, I doubt he's a subordinate of Akira, since his subordinates would never finish off their leader, much less be more powerful than him. Gogeta, please, let's go. I don't know who this guy is, but my body's shaking. I even feel like he's able to cut my breath out with his simple pressure. No, Mikoshin, I can't run away from this place. If I do, this worm will be able to destroy everything. I'm the last defense. I'm sorry, but I have to defeat it. Gogeta would form an energy field with the intention that Mikoshin would not be affected by that battle. A great golden aura would begin to cover Gogeta's entire body as her power rose to incredible levels. Gogeta's going to fight seriously, and the look of determination is the same that I can notice how he expresses some fear. The warrior in front of him is not an ordinary warrior. Before we start the battle, tell me, who are you? I don't even know that. I have been created by this great pure amount of energy. I was able to feel pure energy of two other warriors. One of them is the warrior I absorbed, and the other is you. I hope you're ready to become part of my power. In a matter of seconds, both warriors exchanged millions of blows throughout the Angelic Kingdom. Mikoshin would be protected by the barrier, not able to see their movements. He began to use his mental power with the intention of communicating with his nephews, angels, children of the brother Daishinkan, who had fallen into the collections of Akira, the demon god. The connection would be established with the most powerful angel of all, Whis. An angel of our lineage is connecting to us. Who are you, and how are you able to connect with me? This is a technique that our late father Daishinkan, bloodline technique, but as far as I know, we don't have any angelic relatives. I introduce myself. I am Mikoshin, an angel of the angelic realm. I'm your younger sister of Daishinkan. He has trusted me with the training of two individuals named Goku and Vegeta. Before Mikoshin could continue, Whis' look would be of astonishment. He fell to his knees, being held by Vados. Whis, are you feeling all right? What happened? Don't worry, Vados. And please, Mikoshin, continue. I ask for an apology, but that news has taken me by surprise. I understand that Mr. Goku and Vegeta died at the hands of Akira. No, with the help of Daishinkan, they were able to have one more chance in this world. Having an improvement of their bodies, they defeated Akira, but a new being appeared, a being created of the Omniverse. We need your support. I understand. We angels of the 12 universes will head there. We are accompanied by Zeno-sama, and I'm sure his power will be of help, since he's managed to break his limits, together with his guardians. the communication of both angels would end, while angels, gods, and the king of all, together with their guardians, would leave the dimension. The instant they did, the whole omniverse would tremble due to the power that ran through Zeno-sama.
Beings of divine energy, we have entered the millennia of dimensions that the angels created. It's time to end Akira.
Whis would approach Zeno-sama's side, informing him that Akira was finished, even with Mikoshin's request for help.
At this moment, we'll head to the angelic realm. A new enemy wants to test our powers.
All the beings of divine energy, with the help of the power of the guardians of Zeno-sama, headed towards the angelic kingdom. Returning to the battlefield, Gogeta, despite being the fusions of Vegeta and Gogeta, had very two difficulties to keep up with the warrior in front of him. Gogeta would fall to the ground with great power while spitting out blood.
Damn, I've always been a powerful warrior, but this guy's no comparison. I can't do anything.
The warrior's foot would touch the planet, starting to approach towards Gogeta. A manic smile would be drawn on his face as the energy core of his chest started to light up with power. Ha ha ha! I want more energy. I'll keep your energy and I'll continue absorbing the energy of the living beings. I want to be the only being in everything existing until I manage to travel between all space-time.
I can't believe Gogeta was defeated. How did this warrior come to be? It's an aberration in all that created by the great Zeno-sama.
It is time. I will give myself a banquet, because today I will absorb the energy of two warriors of great amounts of power. No, damn, I can't do anything. I feel like all my bones have been destroyed. I'm sorry, Daishinkan. If I managed to overcome the power of the god Akira, I haven't been able to protect all the 12 universes. A large sphere of dark energy would be absorbed by the power of Gogeta, while the core that had in the chest of this creature lit up more, being so much that on this occasion, a great light would be shot through the angelic kingdom, rising up by everything in its path. However, a few seconds after Gogeta lost his life, the angelic dimension would crack in its entirety. Both warriors, of an incredible speed, using a double attack, destroyed the technique of that warrior, while Whis, for his part, would quickly take Gogeta in his arms. Apparently you are the fusion of Mr. Goku and Vegeta. I am too surprised you are alive, but you are the saviors I talked so much about to Daishinkan. Whis with his staff would manage to heal all the wounds of Gogeta, but his power continued almost null, because although Whis tried to heal him with his staff, the power he had lost in the battle was madness, and Whis in the same dimension of power wasn't able to help him. It's a long time no see, Whis. I appreciate it. It's time to take care of that bastard. He's been able to create the energy of the 12 universes and other multiverses as far as I know. Because of that, he surpasses the power of the demon god Akira. Well, well, more warriors. Perfect. I won't have to look for them.
Guardians, you know what you should do. Take him down. In case you can't do it on your own, you already know what the next step is.
Of course, my lord.
Both guardians rushed on that creature. Despite their training, a few blows were able to connect, not generating much damage because the power of their enemy was overwhelming. Both guardians fell to the ground vomiting blood.
Guardians, it's time to do it.
Zeno-sama would be placed next to his guardians, and the three warriors would form a single warrior. But unlike the combat form of Zeno-sama, this appearance was that of a guardian of Zeno-sama, but his power was disappeared. The fusion of the Guardians managed to break the power barrier. Their powers were only perceived by Gogeta and Kritura, which would give a smile. Wow, I didn't expect that multiple warriors are able to reach a level beyond one god. This is amazing. With all of you, I will be able to become more powerful, and I will manage to travel between dimensions and timelines. I am the one in charge of finishing you. This moment you will know defeat. Both beings exchanged blows. Despite the fusion of the Guardians and Zeno-sama, they could connect a blow, and Gogeta would notice this. Please, angels, gods, beings of the angelic realm, I ask you to give me your power. I'll join the battle once again and help Zeno-sama. This is our only chance. If we don't do it, we'll be destroyed by that guy and all the other timelines and dimensions. Everyone present would channel their power, and the entire planet of Angelic Kingdom would be covered with a golden great light, and all that power would begin to enter Gogeta's body, while his power once again would recharge. I can't lose. This is the power of all the beings in my multiverse. I'll give my life, but I won't be allowed to lose. Gogeta would succumb to his thoughts. Because of this, he'd be held by the hand of the great priest Daishinkan.
I left part of my energy to fight beside you. Although I thought it'd be to defeat Akira, I never thought I'd be to defeat a more powerful warrior than him. Gogeta, I'm proud of you. After all, my sacrifice was not in vain. You've become very powerful.
Gogeta would open his eyes. The same, a large golden silhouette would form on one side of Gogeta, leaving the angel surprised.
This is no time for surprises. This is the last reserve of my energy. I plan to fight on the side of the fusion of the Guardians of Zeno-sama and Gogeta, because being inside it, I was able to overcome all my power.
Daishinkan would expel all his power, leaving everyone present surprised, because the power of Daishinkan had likewise overcome the barrier, being currently considered a sacred being.
I can't believe my brother is alive. I don't want him to die. I'll join the battle too.
Mikoshin, while leaving the barrier that Gogeta had placed, would fall to the ground by the pressure of the blows, able to end the life of the warriors inside the barrier. I know how Mikoshin-sama must feel, but we can't do anything. We must not have the power required to achieve it.
Damn, I thought I've trained for millions of years. I've been able to overcome my limits. I'm useless. I have to become more powerful. I don't want my brother to die.
But it would be interrupted because that abomination would fall to the ground with power to destroy the entire planet of the Celestial Kingdom, which was said to be indestructible. On top of that, a celestial figure of Gogeta would be seen, as well as his armor and seals on his body shone greatly.
I gotta confess, you're powerful. I never thought to have to unite my powers with the fusion of Zeno-sama's guardian and my Grandmaster Daishinkan, but this is your end.
That warrior would stand, spitting out blood. His smile would appear, and without saying a word, would increase his power again. Everything around him would change completely. Just as multiple dimensions created by the excess energy were releasing, the Angelic Kingdom was not prepared to withstand the battle of three holy warriors. It was a normal day in the life of the inhabitants of planet Earth. People were eating in restaurants, walking with their families. There were children playing when suddenly a giant lightning bolt was seen in the sky that caused a strong movement throughout the Earth's surface. Buildings collapsed. People could not stand up. Windows exploded. All this resulted in car accidents and injuries. At the moment, a child was going to be pierced by a giant glass that fell from a building. Very close by, we see how a being that we cannot distinguish who it is flies through the skies at great speed, rescuing people who were in danger due to the strong movement. At the precise moment when the child was about to die, that being rescues him, seeing how a huge piece of glass explodes against the ground. We see how this hooded being stands up from behind, revealing that it was none other than Goku, who had been hidden for a long time because Daishinkan and the angels wanted to see him dead. Goku, with a different appearance than the one we all know, after rescuing the boy, is amazed by the energy that emerges from the earth to the sky. We can see how Vegeta arrives at the place where Goku is together with the Z Warriors, who were still saving people from the disaster. Vegeta looks at Goku face to face and says, "Kakarot, insect, where have you been all this time?" At that moment, Gohan and Goten arrive and tell him,
Dad, where have you been?
"What happened to you, father?" All this happened while Piccolo, Krillin, Trunks, and Android 18 were rescuing the people affected by the movement. After having finished saving them, they arrive to where they are reunited with Goku and look at him very surprised. In a head-to-toe scan, we can see Goku's face very emaciated, with wounds and pronounced cheekbones because he had not tasted any kind of food for a long time. At that moment, we go back in time about 20 years ago. We see how Goku and his son Goten are walking together in the forest. Goku, talking to his son, says,
Hey Goten, are you ready to fish today?
To which Goten replies,
Yes, Dad. Will you show me the fastest way to catch them?
Goku, happy for his son's enthusiasm, replies,
Of course, Goten, but this time I'm going to try something different. Watch this.
Goku dives into the water and after a short time comes out with a big jump with a huge fish moving on his hands.
Goten, very surprised, says to his father, "Wow, Dad, how did you do that?" Goku, showing a very happy expression, says, "When I was little like you, Goten, I had to find my own food in order to live. You should try to give it a try." Goten, very excited, says to his father, "I'll try." And so Goten dives into the water to the joyful sight of his father, to which, on the first attempt, Goten fails to catch any fish. Seeing Goten's sad face, Goku encourages his son, saying, "Don't worry, Goten. It's a matter of practice and patience. The key is to be quick and not scare the fish." So Goten dives in again, but this time it takes a long time to come out. When suddenly Goku feels a very powerful key very close to where he was. Because of this, Goku worried about his son's dives in search of him. Once in the water, he sees Goten fainted and next to him a very strange artifact. Goku, worried about the state in which he found his son, swims to rescue him. At the moment, he was about to lift his son in his arms, ready to go to the surface, the strange artifact begins to emit a very sharp sound that only Goku hears. Wu, with a face of confusion and pain, tries to lift his son, but suddenly the artifact comes off the ground and permeates his chest. Once on his chest, the artifact stops emitting that strange sound and Goku stops feeling the ki of a moment ago. Goku does not take importance to what had happened to him and worried about his son. He lifts him up to get him out of the water. Once outside, Goku puts his son on the ground to revive him, but suddenly an unknown being appeared to him. This being had a greenish coat, blue hair with black tips, and it was a very strange appearance. But it did not seem to be something real. It looked like an illusion. Goku, upon realizing this being, became alert and put his son in good protection. After that, addressing the being, he asks him, "Who are you? What do you want here?" This being, without uttering a word, rushes at high speed towards Goku, who in an act of reflex manages to dodge the first blow. But the speed of the stranger exceeds him by far. Because of that, after dodging the first blow, the unknown being lunges with a kick to the head, which Goku barely manages to block, leaving his stomach exposed, where he takes the opportunity to impact a direct punch, automatically leaving Goku out of air, and thus returns to lunge with a blow to the nape of the neck. Goku, when he was about to lose consciousness, hears a voice in the distance that says, "Apparently this is my best guest that could touch me," saying this in a sarcastic way. "I hope my colleagues are in good condition." After hearing these words, Goku faints. A few minutes after the fleeting confrontation, Goku regains consciousness and realizing that the unknown being was no longer in the place, he looks for Goten, and when he finds him, he begins to unexpectedly and repeatedly call his name to make him react. Seeing that calling him had no effect, he feels his breathing and notices that he was almost not breathing. He creates an energy sphere in his hand and places it on Goten's chest. Once Goten revives the energy from his father, he reacts and spurts water from his mouth. Goten, with a puzzled expression, asks his father what had happened, to which Goku says, "I have the same question for you. What happened?" Goten tells him that at the precise moment he was about to capture the fish, he felt attracted to the artifact, which also tried to impregnate in his chest. At the time, Goten felt a strong source of energy that ran through every part of his body, which was very difficult to control, and felt how that strange energy weakened him until he lost consciousness and fainted. Goku had his thoughts, and that he also felt the same strange and very powerful energy running through his body, and worried about his son, asked him if he still felt that energy inside him. Goku, calmly and a little puzzled, told him no, that he only felt that when the artifact was trying to permeate him. While this was happening on Earth, Whis and Beerus went to the Kingdom of Everything to talk to Daishinkan, since they had noticed him very tense and worried. Once they were already in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan appears with a very serious expression, while Whis and Beerus bow to him to show respect. Daishinkan, relieved to see that Whis and Beerus were with him, tells them something very strange and dangerous is about to happen. Whis, with a puzzled expression, asks, "What is it, father? We'd noticed a certain tension in the air as we reached the realm of the whole." Beerus, yawning without realizing the seriousness of the fright, says to him, "Trouble again? What could be so dangerous to make Daishinkan so worried?" "Serious? And worried, the High Priest?" To which Daishinkan replies, "Yes, I'm afraid so. A powerful entity has resurfaced, once we have not faced in a long time." Whis, with a very serious expression, says to him, "An unknown entity? Could it be one of the beings we left sealed away long ago?" "It is possible, Whis.
Its energies are as dark as they are disconcerting. I cannot identify the source with certainty, but its power is overwhelming.
Beerus, frowning, says,
Why should I worry about it? If it's that strong, I'll go destroy it.
Daishinkan, with a very serious expression, explains,
It's not that simple, Lord Beerus. This entity seems to have the ability to change even the most ancient gods. We cannot underestimate it.
Whis thoughtfully asks his father,
How do you suggest we deal with this situation, father?
We need to gather information before we act rashly. Whis, Beerus, I trust you with the task of investigating. Find out all you can about this entity and any weaknesses it may have.
Beerus, smiling confidently, exclaimed,
Good, good. A little action won't hurt.
Nodding, Whis replies,
We will be on our way, Daishinkan, but be aware that if this entity threatens our universe, we will not hesitate to take drastic measures.
I understand, Whis. May wisdom guide your actions, and may you return with the information we need.
After that conversation, Whis and Beerus depart for the hitherto unknown destination, while Daishinkan watches with concern, aware of the gravity of the situation looming in the realm of everything. As they were on their way back to Earth to ask for Goku and Vegeta's help, Whis recalls that when they were on their way to the realm of everything, he sensed a very strong and dangerous ki on planet Earth. Halfway through his quest in the universe, he stops and, confused, Beerus says to Whis,
What's wrong? Why are you stopping?
Whis, very serene, says to Beerus,
Oh, my dear Lord Beerus, it turns out on our way to the realm of everything, I detected a rather intriguing presence.
Yawning, Beerus asks,
A mysterious entity. We didn't need to get any of what Daishinkan told us.
Whis, with a nervous smile, replies,
Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. This time, it doesn't seem to be a direct threat. I just felt a fleeting flash of power, something that crossed our path.
Beerus frowns at Whis.
And you didn't give it any importance? Isn't that what Daishinkan was talking about?
Well, the truth is, I didn't consider it an immediate threat. It was like a flash of power energy, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. It didn't seem to have any hostile intentions.
Beerus, thinking about the situation, asks,
So what shall we do then? Does Daishinkan want us to investigate something like this?
Yes, but I think the best option is to go ahead with our main mission, to find out what the entity has surfaced. The fleeting presence may be a mere detail compared to what awaits us.
So Whis and Beerus went on their way through the universe, looking for the entity Daishinkan mentioned without giving so much importance to what happened on Earth. Back on Earth, the precise moment Goku rescued his son Goten, Goku, confused by what had happened to his son and the strange artifact that had impregnated in his chest, told Goten,
Let's go home immediately.
As they flew on their way home, Goku tries to sense Vegeta's ki so he could teleport with him, as soon as he left his son with his mother Chi-Chi. At that moment, we see how Vegeta was already gathered by the Z Warriors, Krillin, Android 18, Piccolo, Daishinkan, Chaos, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Master Roshi, who were talking about the strong and dark energy they had felt. Goku and Goten arrive home, and his mother, worried because they had taken a long time to return, runs to Goten and says,
Goten, son, are you alright?
To which Goten replies,
Don't worry, Mom, we're fine.
Chi-Chi raises her head to Goku and notices that he's very serious. She lowers her gaze a little and notices the strange artifact he had on his chest. Chi-Chi asks him,
Goku, what's that you have there? Are you alright?
Goku immediately changes his expression with a fake smile reply.
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing important.
Chi-Chi, in a very insistent way,
Goku, don't fool me. What happened?
This thing I have on my chest. This very strange artifact I have on my chest. Well, it's a strange artifact, but I'm fine, really. I'm going to find out what it is and we'll get on with our lives. Chi-Chi, worried about Goku, hugs him and says,
Promise me you'll come back, Goku.
To which Goku, with a smile, answers her yes. While he was about to make the teleportation, Goku says goodbye, saying to Goten,
Take care of your mother. I'll be right back.
He teleports. Moments before Goku arrived to meeting the Z Warriors, as they were at Bulma's house, they were talking about what they had felt a moment ago. Vegeta, with a very serious expression, asks,
Did anyone else feel that dark energy? I can't identify it, but it's disturbing.
Piccolo, frowning, replies,
Yes, I felt it. It's as if it disappeared immediately as soon as we felt it. Something's not right.
Gohan, very worried, says,
Dad, Goten are with my mother. We should look for them.
At that moment, Goku appears in front of them through teleportation and says very seriously,
Guys, I felt a strange presence. Something happened with Goten, but I rescued him. Piccolo, analyzing everything that happened, notices something strange on Goku's body and asks him,
Goku, what's that artifact on your chest?
That's what I want to find out. But before that, I need to tell you something. To everyone's expectant and uncertain gaze, he says, the strange energy you felt came from this artifact in my chest.
Vegeta frowns and asks, how's it possible? Does that device emit that energy?
Goku, somewhat worried, nods and says, it seems so. The moment I rescued Goten, this artifact permeated my chest, and I began to feel an incredible amount of pressure coursing through every part of my body.
Piccolo, thinking about everything Goku was telling them, asks,
and how did it get in your chest?
The artifact was underwater right next to Goten, who had fainted. As soon as I was approaching it, it emitted a very sharp sound that didn't allow me to get close to Goten. Despite that, I managed to get close, and out of nowhere, it jumped in front of my chest to stay there. After everything that had happened with Goten, I tried to take it off, but when I did it again, it came back to permeate my chest. We must find out what this artifact is and why it has such a great amount of power. I'm counting on you.
Vegeta, determined, says,
let's do it. We won't let any threat catch us off guard.
Future Trunks earnestly tells everyone, I agree. Together, we'll figure out what's going on.
Goku thanks all his friends for the support they were giving him, but at that moment he changes his joyful expression to one of seriousness, as he remembered what had happened just before he lost consciousness. Gohan, noticing the sudden change in his father's expression, asks him,
Dad, what's wrong? Is there anything else you must tell us?
Vegeta adds,
Insect, you're not hiding anything from us, are you?
Goku remembered what had happened at that moment. With an expression of concern and anguish, he tells them about the fight he had with an unknown being, which exceeds his strength by far. And he remembers that the entity mentioned that he had colleagues that he had hoped would be alright. Piccolo, with fear but serene, says to Goku,
Are you sure of what you're saying? For what you are telling us is very dangerous. If he surpasses your strength by far, in that case we wouldn't stand a chance against him. We'd be a hindrance rather than a support, Goku.
Goku, after hearing that, tells him what he felt in the confrontation.
The moment the unknown being appeared, I felt the same amount and type of power, and the dark ki that ran through my body as the strange artifact permeated my chest.
As soon as Goku finished telling what had happened, as soon as he got out of the water, Piccolo came up with an idea. It wasn't that far-fetched, but he could explain what the strange artifact was and why he was facing the unknown being. Piccolo, observing the artifact, turns to Goku saying,
This looks familiar. It may be like a containment urn, like the ones we used at the Mafuba to seal powerful beings.
Surprised Goku,
Really, Piccolo? Do you think this could be something like that?
Krillin, looking at the artifact,
An artifact like this one, used with the Mafuba on Goku's chest? Since when did battles become so complicated? There's always something new with you Saiyans.
Master Roshi, somewhat excited, but at the same time serious, exclaimed,
Mafuba! I remember when we sealed King Piccolo with that. Do you think Goku has such a strong enemy inside?
Future Trunks, analyzing what had happened, says,
It makes sense. The Mafuba urns are powerful devices to contain evil energies. Could this artifact have sealed something?
I don't care if it's from the Mafuba or anywhere else. I just want to know how to get rid of this thing once and for all. It's a possibility. The urns we use to keep very strong enemies under control, but why did it attach yourself to Goku?
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that this energy is linked to a very powerful entity.
Whatever it is, if it's linked to that artifact, we cannot underestimate it. So, what do you plan to do, Kakarot?
At that moment, the Kaio-sama of the North telepathically communicates with Goku to tell him that he had information about the powerful energy that they felt, and the mysterious artifact that permeated his chest. Kaio-sama tells him to get to his planet quickly.
First, we need information. Kaio-sama has information about this artifact and the being that might be inside it. We must go to Kaio-sama so we can find out what we're dealing with.
Vegeta nods and Goku continues.
Exactly, but first, I need your help. If there are any more entities like this, the Earth could be in danger. And with this connection to the artifact, I could put them at risk. Therefore, I'll only go to Kaio-sama to get the information to get rid of this artifact.
Kakarot, don't even think that you'll do this alone. I'll go with you, Insect. I can't accept that you become stronger than me.
Goku accepts and asks him to put his hand on his shoulder.
Once Goku and Vegeta left, the Z Warriors sensed unknown presences on the planet, so they split into groups and flew off at high speed to go investigate. With the re-evaluation that the artifact at Goku's chest might be like a containment urn similar to those used in Mafuba, the Z Warriors faced an increasingly complex and dangerous situation. Uncertainty about what such an artifact contains and how it is connected to the mysterious dark energy fills them with worry. While Goku and Vegeta were to where Zeno-sama and the Z Warriors went to investigate the unknown presences they had detected in space, Whis and Beerus, after having traversed much of space, felt a strong amount of dark energy, so they immediately head to where it was. As they are about to reach the source of the dark energy, the pressure in the air becomes more intense as they get closer, and the unknown entity awaits their arrival. Why do I feel like this is going to be more complicated than we thought?
Mr. Beerus, the information we gain here could be crucial to understanding the threat we face on Earth.
The unknown entity, surrounded by a dark aura, reveals itself in front of Whis and Beerus. Its presence is overwhelming and a sinister laugh echoes in space. Unknown entity mockingly welcomes them, saying,
I expected your arrival. You took longer than I expected.
"Do not underestimate the gods. We're here to stop any threat that endangers our universe."
Before any confrontation, can you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, that's funny. I'm known as Ryuk, disciple of the Devourer of Worlds. I have come to free the Master, the most powerful being who ever lived. The expression on Whis' and Beerus' faces become much more serious upon hearing Raiku's name. Raiku, that name rings a bell.
Raiku is an ancient threat, Lord Beerus. His master, he and the other disciples were sealed away a millennia ago due to his unquenchable thirst for power and destruction.
So it looks like we have a problem. This time it won't be as easy sealing him again. The space fills with palpable tension as Ryuk, surrounded by a dark and malevolent aura, confronts Whis and Beerus. The dark energy emanating from him seems to distort the very fabric of space around him. Problem, you say? You are correct, little god. The Master has been patiently awaiting your release, and now with my arrival, that time has finally come. Beerus moves into combat stance with a determined expression on his face, while Whis remains composed but alert. I have no time for games. If your master is a threat, we'll stop you here and now.
Tell us more about your master. Understanding his motivations might help us find a peaceful solution.
Ryuk chuckles mischievously, revealing his sharp fangs, then disappears in a dark flash before reappearing behind Beerus with astonishing speed. There's nothing they can do to stop the Master's inevitable resurgence, but before that, they could entertain me. The battle begins. Ryuk throws a swift punch towards Beerus, but the Destroyer guy nimbly dodges and responds with an energy punch that Ryuk blocks easily. Meanwhile, Whis watches carefully, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Ryuk's speed is impressive, but Beerus manages to keep up. They exchange blows and energy blasts in a combat that seems to defy the laws of space itself. Ryuk's dark energy distorts reality around him, making its impact more dangerous and intense.
Lord Beerus, your speed is amazing, but that dark energy is problematic. I suggest you be careful with your movements.
Beerus nods as he dodges an enemy attack and counterattacks with an energy wave. Ryuk, undeterred, vanishes and reappears in front of Whis, challenging him to enter the fight. And you, assistant of the god, will you dare to face me? Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk.
I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish.
Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches a fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself. As Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces, Ryuk, his ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him. This guy's faster than I thought. As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer.
This dark power is intriguing.
but it is out of balance. Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the god's moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha! This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and devourer of worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the devourer of worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature is more formidable than I imagined.
And determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis', creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
You can't dodge me forever, Whis. As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The destroyer god sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the destroyer god. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict. "Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?" Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the high priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. This sphere of divine containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds, an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the sphere of divine containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There was still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the sphere of divine containment. Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Kaio-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Kaio-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, scarring Kaio-sama with serious and determined expressions. Kaio-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial. We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know? Kaio-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Kaio-sama explained that the Cosmic Core of Containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact shows Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil.
So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot! It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within.
Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time, figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, 3 warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the 3 warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen, a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun.
I don't know who you are, but we'll not allow you to harm our planet!
Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black, malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield.
Kaizen!
In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension.
The henchmen counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchmen painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene.
You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine.
As Bahamut's henchmen lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master. On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination. Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think. The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z-Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z-Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z-Warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control? The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of containment, that ancestral artifact, had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden. The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried.
The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them.
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaiosama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Daishinkan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Daishinkan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Daishinkan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Daishinkan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this. Daishinkan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchmen, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot! Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, this being who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takagami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought, I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them. Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said, I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takagami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut. Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said, More gods? This sounds very dangerous, and it's exciting. Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful. The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans. Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness? Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans. Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan! Come on, God of Darkness, show us what you can do! Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness. They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness! Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami.
However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified, and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added, "Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting." Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless. The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances. "Vegeta, it's time to go further!"
Huh, of course, Kakarot.
As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better. Huh, of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions.
I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness.
Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully.
Is that all you have, Saiyan?
While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Ah! Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level.
Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do? Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it.
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Final flash! The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact. His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily. Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions. Big Bang attack! Kaioken 20 times! The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy. This darkness is incredibly strong. We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this. Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously. Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness. The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions. Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power. Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within. No, I haven't taken complete control yet! Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation. What's going on? Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form. But now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The Falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. Huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now Takagami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha. That's what Yamcha looks like! Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile. That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now. Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously. Damn it! How dare you possess one of us? It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Bahamut puppets. The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely. Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Bahamut will be released.
and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takagami.
Of course, Kakarot, but first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takagami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Baumut. But Takagami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
The dark energy intensified in the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness. Now, the freedom to be able to use all his power launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takagami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her.
Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!
But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takagami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Ten Shinhan, after learning the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Ten Shinhan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly.
Takagami, I'll make sure you pay for this!
Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Baumut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself. The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takagami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takagami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted.
Ten Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world.
Ten Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takagami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takagami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyan's fusion.
Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option. I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takagami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takagami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takagami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Tenshinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight, but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takagami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Tenshinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takagami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Tenshinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans? Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takagami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takagami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takagami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Tenshinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takagami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster. I'll come with you, Tenshinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it, Tenshinhan! Chaos!
Tenshinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takagami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Tenshinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takagami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Tenshinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Tenshinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takagami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takagami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Tenshinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Tenshinhan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takagami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Tenshinhan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Tenshinhan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that. Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act.
At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takagami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takagami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation, where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain.